Hello, everybody. Today I'll be talking about some of the major issues that are happening in Major League Baseball today and how some of these issues are changing the way the game of baseball is being played. I'd first like to start off with a famous quote by Wes Westrum. His quote goes, "Baseball is like church. Many attend, but few understand." Baseball is a sport that has been around for over 150 years. It is America's #1 sport. The first game was played on June 1846. From there, two leagues were formed: the National League, which was formed in 1876, and the American League, which was formed in 1901. From there, everything was great until about the StatCast era. The StatCast era started in 2015. For those that do not know, the StatCast era is basically when we decided to really start introducing technology and analysts into the world of baseball. And thus brings me to my issues that are occurring currently today. The first one I'd like to touch base on is the replay challenge. A replay challenge is basically where a team gets to challenge the call that's made on the field by the umpire. Most often it's usually a safe or out call. The problem with this is most of the time it's basically just wasting time. Most of these challenges take anywhere up to 10 minutes before the call is finally made and the game can resume. Another major issue that I see with it is that it creates this dynamic of disrespect between the players and the umpires. Players get to just decide when they want to make the call and how they want to make it without really affecting to see how it's going to affect the game. Another one I want to talk about is intentional walks. Intentional walks is basically when the opposing team is deciding to just let the batter go to first base. Now in the past, the pitcher used to have to throw all 4 pitches. And doing this, it usually causes a lot of stress for the pitchers. Most of the time, the pitchers would throw their 4 balls and the batter would get to walk. But every now and then, the pitcher would get nervous or wouldn't know how to handle it, and he could throw the ball away and a run would score or the game would change. Nowadays, you just point to the umpire and the batter just walks to first without any of the added stress and the atmosphere that occurs from intentional walk. The next one is the timers that are added to the field. Some of you may have noticed that if you check on the outfield walls, that there's timers running in between the innings. Basically what's happening is fans have said that the game of baseball is too slow and that it takes too long. And one of the ways that Major League Baseball has decided to increase the speed of the game is they add a timer in between innings, so that when the third out is made, the opposing team has 2 minutes to get onto the field and ready to face the first batter. Now you might be asking yourself this question: what happens if the timer runs out? That's a great question. The answer to that question is there is no penalty. There's been talks about if the pitcher's not ready, that the batter gets awarded a ball, which would be helpful in his favor. Or if the batter's not ready, the pitcher would get awarded a strike and it'd be helpful for the pitcher. But currently, there's no penalty, so why even have it? Now, the last thing I want to touch base on, which is the part that really aggravates me the most, is the future of baseball, so they call it. And this is going to be known as the electronic strike zone. Currently, right now, it is being displayed in the Atlantic League. The Atlantic League is an independent league, and those that don't know what an independent league is basically it's like amateur baseball. You still get paid; you're a paid athlete, but it doesn't have an affiliation with any of the major league teams. But basically what's happening in this league is that when the pitcher pitches the ball, instead of the umpire reacting, it will wait until the computer processes whether it's a strike or ball, and then get relayed the message through an ear pod, whether it's a strike or a ball. Now, in my opinion, for those that want the game to go quicker and want it to be faster, it seems like there's going to be a delay in that. Plus, what's the point of even having the umpire there? You might as well just have a big old jumbotron, and when the pitcher throws the pitch, it pops up strike or ball. So actually, I'm quite nervous for the umpires, which kind of brings me to my whole point of this. It's really just taken away from what you imagine when you go to a ball game. When you go to a ball game, you imagine 2 different teams, umpires on the field. We all have that dynamic that everybody hates the umpires. You have that atmosphere that you come to the game for. But if you have all these technology and all these things, there won't be any need for any umpires. the game won't be the same. So obviously, I'm very, very passionate about baseball. I've played it all my entire life. And for those that don't really quite know a whole lot about baseball, hopefully I've kind of helped, enlighten you, or hopefully maybe just informed you of some of the changes that have already occurred and kind of where the future of baseball is supposed to be headed. Hopefully not. And for those of you that are, true baseball fans, I feel your pain. Hopefully you feel mine, and hopefully it doesn't end up that way. But hopefully today I can really show to you that the game of baseball is changing. I don't think it's changing for the better. And thank you.